Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Wright, human cartoonist extraordinaire, and welcome to the rap party for What the Gnomes Know. Woo! Woo! It's almost done. We have had an incredibly successful Kickstarter so far. Just in case you don't know what we're talking about, What the Gnomes Know is a comics anthology that is gnome themed that we had over a dozen creators put their work into. And we've been kickstarting it for the last month. And we made goal a couple weeks ago, and now we're just going for getting better stuff. We are currently at 4,088. Our next stretch goal is at 4,500. What we get if we hit that stretch goal, we'll be adding behind the scenes materials to the book. So you can see concept art, scripts, work in progress pages, things like that. We will also be able to pay our creators a higher page rate. Now, there's not a lot of time. There's only about half an hour left in the Kickstarter. So we're shooting for the moon a little bit. But honestly, we are already past a stretch goal. We've already done over $1,500 past our original goal. And we're just trying to gild the lily here. But if you're still interested in the project, you still have time. Joining me today, we have a bunch of the creators. We also, of course, have immediately to my right on the screen, Rainer Cannonstein, who was the actual organizer of this project.
Howdy.
And the artist on Necronomicon. Next to Rainer is Ariane, who was the writer on Necronomicon.
Hello.
We also have Eddie and Kaj, who worked on a gnome by any other name. Good name. Yeah. And we have Alex, who worked on Gnome Armor.
Hello.
So, guys, I got to ask, first off, how excited are you for this project wrapping up?
Pumped.
Yeah.
This is great.
Pretty glad. I mean, next step is more work for me, but glad to have the crowdfunding over.
Oh, absolutely. Once the project's once the funding's done, that's when the real work begins. But we've actually done a lot of that real work already, if we're being honest.
The book file, for anyone watching, the book file is, other than the stretch goal we just hit, done. It's just, we got to get it printed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some edits, some creators. Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll happen once Kickstarter gives us the money, which they are definitely going to do. One thing that is, for those who don't understand how Kickstarters work, the base goal is the minimum you have to hit to get any money. If you don't hit 2,500, which is the goal we'd set, then Kickstarter would basically refund tell everybody, sorry, we're not collecting your money. And just nothing would happen. Since we've passed that, we're getting paid. Unless over $1,500 worth of people decide to drop out at the last minute, which please don't do that. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
I don't want to make history that way.
Yeah. So, everyone knock on wood if you got some near you.
Yeah, exactly.
Do horrible things into our existence.
But yeah, the road after this is going to be pretty straightforward. We basically are just going to, once the money comes in, we pay all the creators, we send the print order in. We're hoping to have everything fulfilled by February. We're giving ourselves that extra time because print times slow down a lot in December. Because they're trying to get all this fulfillment stuff done during the holidays. And so we're giving ourselves a couple extra months so we can get everything taken care of. Plus, I'm going to have to make the book sleeves for the special editions. Now available under the Sverfneblin Gonna Give You Up tier. But yeah, Eddie, Kaj, and Alex, have you guys been in a Kickstarter before?
Nope.
No, I haven't done a crowdfunded anything.
First time for me.
Yeah, this is the first.
Man, that's
This is my first
exciting.
paid comic work at all.
Well, then
Nice.
I'm glad we were able to do that for you then.
I've done an anthology before, but I never get paid for it.
Yeah. Are you guys both Fantology alum?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. So this is my first comics anything.
And we are being joined by the cover artist and editor, Kelsey Crawford.
Hello! I just popped in.
Hello.
This is going to be kind of a pop in, pop out type of stream. We're keeping it very casual, very informal, just trying to push for that last half hour, see what we're able to do.
Heck yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Actually, Kelsey, your timing is impeccable.
Yes.
Because I just sent a message to a backer who'd asked us about this.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the stream. We have one more sticker from Kelsey's Pride Gnome collection.
Yes.
That has just been completed. So we received a request. We have a bunch of stickers of gnomes with their hats designed in different, to represent different pride flags. And one of the we got a specific request that someone wanted a poly flag, and we actually did the old version. Turns out there's a new one. So we've actually been working with that person to get to see if we could get another one done, and we actually now have the art for it.
Yes.
So we officially have one more sticker that we're throwing into the mix.
Yes.
That's a good way of setting it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one I had to get a little creative with because the original flag was askew. So I rotated it and designed it like so to get all of the colors in as best as I could.
Yeah, that works.
Because the original cut off all of the blue, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So
I like the design, but also like respectfully, with all due respect to the poly community, I hate asymmetrical flags, and it makes me very aggravates my need for things to align very badly.
Yeah.
I really do want that stripe, that point to be in the middle of the center stripe. I really do want it to be that way. It really does upset the old brain.
Just a little. The original new flag is even worse, believe it or not. It's even more asymmetrical, and I'm just like,
Really?
oh my god. Okay, rotate.
Oh
Yeah.
my! Looking at that, I just googled it.
I have
one of the things.
flag design.
Yeah, one of the things, as the boring straight cis male of the group, that I never really realized with the flags is just how many of them there are.
Oh yeah.
And like not just covering different parts of the LGBTQIA plus spectrum, but also like duplicates within that spectrum.
Yeah. Some of the duplicates exist because for the case of like the lesbian flag, for example, it's revealed that like the original person who designed the original lesbian flag was very, very TERF, which is trans exclusionary. So other people stepped in and they made iterations of the flag that are more trans inclusive. Or
there's
at least
also
they promoted them
things
as such.
with the original lesbian flag, like the one that people tend to think of as the original lesbian flag was like specifically the lipstick lesbian flag. It was for like femme presenting lesbians, and a lot of like butch lesbians were like, this really doesn't represent us at all. And they're like, again, there are so many variations on so many different flags.
It doesn't help that nowadays, like literally anyone can just slap some colors together, declare what they mean, and put it on the internet and say, I made this flag. And it's like, no, flag design actually has rules.
Yeah.
Flag design, like colors have assigned meanings in flag design, and they have rules. Like,
flag design has its roots in like heraldic traditions, and all of that stuff has rules and very specific meanings.
Like, I like the fact that the pan flag is printer ink colors.
Yeah.
The pan flag is CMY because you can derive all other colors from those three. You can derive basically everything else from it. So for an identity that is meant to be inclusive of everything, every weird combination, it's symbolically significant.
You can also tell that was made by print artists because we love CMYK.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to be careful when you design these flags that there's ink of dye available in those colors.
There's that's the really interesting thing about the original rainbow flag is that if you look at the history of it, the original rainbow flag has a pink stripe and a turquoise stripe.
And
I want to say pink is sex or sexuality, and turquoise is magic. I think it's magic. Yeah. And then it just made more sense.
Oh wow! Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. What are you doing? Turn that off.
Wait.
Turn that off.
I have no idea why it's doing that. I'm trying to turn it off. There we go.
Okay.
Let me.
Sorry to our photosensitive viewers out there.
Yeah, I apologize. I do not know why it was flickering like that. That is very weird. I'm going to try it again in a different way. Just heads up.
Okay.
Okay. I'm very sorry about that. I have no idea why I did it that way.
Okay.
All this to say, if you have a specific pride flag that isn't on the list
It's
already, ask. We'll do
Yeah.
it. We'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what we have so far. This is the main group minus the 2 poly flags we've done. But I am, by the way, can you guys name these? Like which ones are which? Because this particular image doesn't have it labeled.
Okay, so from top to bottom, left to right, there's the gay flag, the bi flag, the asexual flag, the non-binary flag.
Nope.
Then
Nope.
below that,
That's aromantic.
Aromantic flag. Yeah.
Aromantic. Sorry. Because non-binary is in the second row. From the left in the second row, there's the trans, the pan, the non-binary, and the Philadelphia iteration of the general pride flag. I went with that because the progress pride flag, which is another iteration of it, would have looked really wonky in a gnome
too many things for one
because
hat.
of the arrow coming in from the side. And then on the very bottom, left to right, is the lesbian flag, which is more inclusive for butch lesbians. Then there's the intersex, the genderqueer, and I'm trying to remember that one. Gender fluid. That was it.
Yay.
Yay.
Also, if for whatever reason you're not interested in the pride flags or you want to see the other options that we have available, apologies for constantly having to pull this down. What happened before is it tried to steer the monitor. That's when it did the flickering, but I can switch in other ways. We have several other options though for stickers.
Oh, do you want to show those off now?
I am doing it right now.
Okay. Walk us through. What stickers do we have?
Yep. We've got Surfing Gnome by Ariane McRae. We had a lot of fun when that showed up in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that one.
Yep. We've got Gnome is Where the Heart Is by Angela Boyle, who unfortunately is not able to make it tonight, but sends her regards. She really wanted to be able to. That one, by the way, I believe she did traditionally. Might be the only traditional sticker we have.
She did. I saw a time lapse of her working on it on Instagram.
Oh yeah, that did just go up.
Yep.
We've got 2 by me, Gnome Stool and Goddesses. Which, fun fact, I made this during a live stream that JM Hunter was doing, where there were prompts for basically an action shot and a cat somehow involved for a gnome sticker. And actually, I'll show the one that Hunter did, because that's also going to be available. But while he was doing that, I decided to go ahead and doodle this, because why not? It was fun.
Yeah, you got to do something on live streams, because why not?
Exactly. Plus, we did a lot of live streams, and I tried to be active in the chat for all the ones that I wasn't actually hosting.
Which I hugely appreciate.
Yep. Live streams, honestly, are one of the things that our group does that I wish all anthology groups did. It's a lot of work, but man, is it for just promotion, it can be very useful.
Yeah, and it can be like, hey, look, I was interviewed on a live stream for this project that I was a part of.
Here is JM's take on it. It was insane to watch him make this. It was so much fun. But when I was doing a cat Pegasus, he was doing a cat centaur and gave them all gnome hats just to make sure.
All right.
Yeah, it was truly amazing to watch. And the last set we have are the spooky ones. So heads up, these are a little bit creepier.
Okay.
But we have Zombie Bird by Angela Boyle.
Delightful.
And a red cap that I did. Honestly, I worked with Yeah, I worked with a writer on this one, Ian Klesch, and if I hadn't, I probably would have done a horror story about a red cap. That's probably what I would have done because, I mean, gotta have some horror gnomes in there, right?
Heck yeah.
I love that
find a way to work that in there.
bird, like zombie chickadee is
Yeah, and
great.
what's great is I think she just did this on her own, but it actually works with your story, Necronomicon.
No, what it was is I was complaining that I had no idea how to draw a zombie chickadee. So Angela did it before me, and then I ripped off Angela.
Wow, that's awesome. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I fully ripped. I didn't go as hard as Angela, because that would be hard to redraw every panel. But
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of the things a lot of people don't get about cartoonists is
Oh, you didn't want to draw a zombicity over and over again?
So
I remember
chickadee.
well, I remember there was a thing there was a project I remember doing at CCS where it was a group project and we all decided we wanted a cast of characters for different stories.
Mhm.
And so I tried to draw someone who'd have a lot of really distinguishing marks. Like, I think the worst one I gave him is that his nose had clearly been broken before, so it was at an angle.
Mhm.
That was such a nightmare to draw every time. Because I had to draw an asymmetrical nose. Like, we talk about flags, facial features are worse. And not like shaming anybody who has that situation. It's specifically an issue with drawing it because every single time you try to recreate that, you have to recreate it the exact same way.
It's there's a really interesting I took an animation course with Alec Longstreth, who is just a great artist and teacher. And he had a great illustration. I don't know if it's available on the internet, but he had a great demonstration of the difference between drawing for illustration, drawing for comics, and drawing for animation. And like with illustration, you can take several hours to work on just a single illustration, sometimes several days, right? To just work on this single illustration, you can put all this detail in. With comics, you don't have the time to put in hours and hours of work on every panel. So you simplify, you use fewer lines, you do less shading, you do fewer colors, fewer whatever. And then with animation, not only now you have to draw this 12 times a second for as long as the story is going to be. It's like, that is a ridiculous amount of drawings. So you go even less, where you might have like 3 hairs on the comic character, you do 1 hair on the animated character, where you do, I think Alec once put it as, you have just enough, if your character has a striped shirt, you give them just enough stripes that you can tell it's striped and not like different colors. Or plaid shirt, I think was the example. You give them just enough different lines on the shirt that you can tell that it's plaid and not patched or striped.
Right. Yep. And you might say,
interesting.
what about manga? Kentaro Miura had assistance that's not humanly possible alone.
Yeah, no. It's funny because when we were first looking at doing anthologies, when Rainer and I were talking about this, we were kind of looking at the tankobon method, which is how a lot of manga is made. It's things like Shonen Jump, where you've got those magazines that are releasing things volume by volume. And the more we looked into it, the more we're like, there's no way we can get people to do this because it is honestly just too brutal. It's not, the requirements for most mangaka are absolutely ridiculous, even considering most of them work with teams.
Yeah.
And
asking individual artists to do it is like, you'd have so many that would just be like, dunk, I'm done.
Yeah.
Just walk off.
I was honestly thinking of doing an entire story with only like 2. Any of y'all ever read Nicholas? I was planning on doing that. The one about the guy whose brother dies. Good comic. Google it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
But like 2 panels per page with like no backgrounds, just characters.
Huh. Interesting.
By the way, just stepping back for 1 second, because we were talking about those stickers, those are available as add-ons on our Kickstarter as in sticker packs. Each sticker pack comes with 6 stickers that you will be able to choose. So if you want all of them, you'd have to get a couple sticker packs, but they're only $5. We're trying to keep them as cheap as possible. And that, again, just to plug it, because we only have like 15 minutes left in it, is for the Kickstarter for What the Gnomes Know. Comics anthology that all of us were involved in. We have the organizers here, several of the artists, and our cover artist who did the absolutely fantastic drawing of a gnome that, now that I think about it, I probably ought to bring up on the screen.
Yes, I'm voguing. I'm a dancer.
Yes. We are currently at still at 4,088. We've already made our base goals. We're just trying to hit the last minute stretch goal of 4,500. We know it's a long shot at this point, but we always got to be pushing. And that
weirder things have happened in 15 minutes.
It's true. Like, honestly, we made like almost $500 today, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make 500 in 16 minutes. Who knows?
It's just 4 special editions.
Yeah, like, it's not impossible. It's just, tough. But yeah, if people want to go ahead and back that, it would be absolutely amazing. Another thing that we are going to be doing, we had a coloring page challenge that we said that the winner is going to get a digital illustration, an original digital illustration sent to them. We did have a few people participate in that, and shortly after the Kickstarter wraps at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to determine the winner of that and announce it.
All right.
Yeah. That reminds me, like, Ariane and I were talking before the stream started about how funny it is that this Kickstarter is actually ending at 7:07 on December 7th. Like, that was entirely accidental.
Wow.
If only we'd been doing it in July.
Oh,
that would be funnier.
7777. That would be great. But yeah, honestly, when we started the Kickstarter, I think the way we had it set was just, it's going to run for 30 days. I think in the past, when I've done this, I've actually manually put in, it ends on the 30th day at midnight. And we didn't do that this time. So it's ending at the same time that we actually started this on our launch stream 30 days ago. And I think maybe this is better. I just like that we're able to kind of do a countdown to it.
Yes. I agree. Because I was doing a countdown last time. I was staying up and shit. I mean, I don't know about y'all.
Oh, yeah. Like,
do that.
Yeah. So, we'd mentioned we have a couple Kickstarter newbies, but like, Kelsey has run a bunch of Kickstarters. You were our crowdfunding manager on the last project, Less Than Secret, too.
Yep.
I'm curious, do you still get anxious watching Kickstarters up until the last second?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done this like 15 times. I still get anxious in the last home stretch before it wraps.
Yeah. By the way, one of my backers, Matt, brought up that we should be calling it the Gnome Stretch.
Yeah.
I slipped that into the
Twitter announcement.
Yeah, I slipped that in there, and he messaged me saying, "Oh, I see what you did there." Yeah. Oh, just randomly, I would want to point this out also. I'm currently at my parents' place for the holidays. These are not, in fact, my diplomas.
Okay.
Like, I know people have been wondering
unless
about
you were
that.
like Osamu Tezuka and you were a doctor the whole time.
I was a doctor the whole time. But my parents were out shopping the other day and came across something, and I decided to hide them in the background of my stream. Got these little gnome dudes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at the
Little guys.
Oh, I
Aren't they
love them.
great? You want to know the best thing? Their heads come off and they're full of chocolate.
Oh, nice!
I want
Very
it
nice.
so bad.
That's so good.
I
Oh
don't
my
know
God,
if
I
that's
did this
cute or gruesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it turns out, gnomes were made of chocolate the whole time.
Oh, by the way, settle a disagreement with my parents. Is this coated female gnome, or do they have a braided beard?
Yes.
Ooh,
Both?
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
they are a lady gnome with a braided beard.
Okay.
You knew Ian and I were going to be team both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I read it as braided hair, but my parents were like, "No, of course it's a beard. It's a gnome." They're like, "There are female gnomes," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's another
Hair
conversation."
does appear to be coming from above the nose. So,
Yeah.
Maybe they're really long braided eyebrows, though.
Oh,
That would be pretty great.
Idea.
That's
Those are
That is
just
the true
eyebrows.
mark of a wise gnome is bearded eyebrows.
I'm gonna
terrifying.
draw that now.
Yeah.
You know, it also occurs to me,
New
like,
sticker idea just dropped.
I just realized all the goofy gnomes I've drawn, like for stickers and things like that, have had no eyes. They've had the hat down over the brim.
Yes, this is the correct way to draw gnomes. I mean,
Yes.
you'll notice that the gnome in my surfing gnome
Yeah.
sticker, like the only reason why you even know where his eyes are or their eyes are is because of the sunglasses, and even then, I'm pretty sure the brim of the hat would come down over the eyes in the sunglasses.
This is true. I do have to. Now that I think about it, actually, I think all the gnomes in our stories have eyes. Is anyone's not the case?
Do the
Okay, I'm
ones
trying to
in
think as editor who had to
Gnome's
look at all
Land?
of the stories.
Do the gnomes in No Man's Land? I'm gonna just check that.
Yeah, the gnome in No Man's Land has eyes.
I would
One of them
certainly hope you would
doesn't.
know that, considering you drew it, Ben.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, wrong story. One of the two characters in not your Garden Variety Adventure does not have eyes. One does and one doesn't.
Ah, okay.
Oh my gosh, the braided.
Oh, I'm
eyebrows.
sorry. I was looking away. Let me bring that big screen.
Yes, braided eyebrows.
Braided eyebrows. This camera doesn't like to focus on things you hold up to it, but
Yeah, damn,
Sorry.
braided eyebrows. That's how you know she's the boss.
Yep,
That is honestly great.
that is.
I feel like that needs to be something worked into something fantasy. Like, I would do it with
rules
Fairfolk, I think. Yeah. New D&D rules just...
my own fantasy race with long eyebrows they braid
Yep.
indicate status.
I love it.
This thought pains me.
By the way, just because I brought it up a little bit earlier, I'm going to go ahead and share the cover for this. That was designed by Kelsey.
It's a great cover.
Thank you.
It is.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun seeing the designs for this. Actually, here's a fun behind the scenes thing to talk about. We were bouncing a couple names around, and we almost went with Beneath the Pointed Hat.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was close. That was
I-
basically last second. It was like 50-50. Everyone was torn, and then
And then
I
I
don't
designed the
remember.
hats, and there was an iteration where instead of what the gnomes know across the hat, I wrote Beneath the Pointed Hat, but it didn't look as good.
It didn't look as good, and we also found there's another project out there with a similar name.
that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Also, the title was on the hat, not beneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely ended up going with the right name, but it's just interesting little factoid for people curious in behind the scenes stuff.
Interesting fact, because factoids are like tabloids in that they are not factual, they are just published material.
Well, that's
Really?
going to bother me forever now. Thank you.
Yeah. Fun fact, you're welcome.
Fun fact, you're welcome.
Yeah. That should pretty much be my next pin design. Fun fact, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That-
Yes.
You know what? Yes, that would make a great pin. By the way, like just going back to the stickers for a second, I'm having so much fun with the idea of making stickers and things like that. Just because it's not something I've really done much, but I've never been able to get into pins and things like that. And I feel like stickers might be the compromise.
Stickers are a good compromise for that. I am looking for my sketchbook.
Yeah.
There it is.
By the way, just because we're getting close to it, I do want to shout out, we've got about 7 minutes to go on the Kickstarter.
Woo! We got this.
Have we gotten any closer?
No, there's been no movement, but I think
No. Watching
Yeah.
this stream, you got to get on that.
I'm sure some of the people watching the stream have already backed it, in which case, thank you. But
Thank you.
yeah, in case anyone's seeing this and is still interested, it's just barely minutes to go. and we are we're already funded. We are trying to get to the next tier because the next tier will let us pay our creators more, and we'll expand the back of the book to include some work in progress art. But yeah, we are very excited for this. It's finally in the last days, and we are getting ready to wrap.
Yes.
Oh, also, just a small shout out, because I know they're having another event at pretty much the exact same time. The Columbus Cartoon Coalition, which is a group that Kelsey and I are both involved with, is having their in-person holiday thing right now, and good for them.
Yes.
Actually,
honestly, if the people who are watching this are doing both, you are a champ and a pro, and I'm proud of you.
Yes. Absolutely. But just wanted to go ahead and give them a shout out because we wish we could be there. We love you guys. You're great. But
we appreciate your support. We support you.
We're trying to get everyone paid, so we're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, get them paid extra.
Gotcha. So Eddie, Kaj, and Alex, you guys were newcomers to this particular anthology group.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like working with CanonWrite? Feel free to be mean.
I'll be mean to myself and say that I didn't work with CanonWrite. I just kind of did my shit and then turned it in and didn't participate a whole.
That's honestly what it's like working with a publisher. You just like I'm gonna make some stuff and turn it in, and boom, that's
yeah.
Anything else you need from me? And like that publisher
be more involved in future efforts. It just kind of worked out that like when we have the group meetings tends to be my get other things done time of the week. So.
We're fully aware that we're kind of a weird organization in that like most anthology projects are kind of post and ghost. Like you give you turn in your work and that's all they really care about. And we really try to get everybody involved.
Yeah.
To their comfort level. If people don't want to get involved, they don't have to, but
I like having the option to be involved, certainly. Like I know I don't take advantage of it very much, but knowing that that network of support and like collaboration is there is really nice to have. I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Alex?
It's also
it
nice.
was
No. Gosh. Wait.
Yeah, I had a great experience with this. It's just really nice being able to interact with other cartoonists while like just trying to get this comic over a topic that I had never once thought about before, just finishing it to completion. Like it really pushed me. It really it took me to new places that I never thought about. So I would say like, yeah, this was a fantastic experience, and I hope there's more of this to come in the future.
All right. And Kaj, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's also kind of cool that, we're across a couple of different time zones. So if we were all on like one coast, it would be like, and all of our schedules are conflicting. But with that, it gives you a little more flexibility in terms of being able to contact people, which is kind of cool. Not always. Sometimes it does make scheduling things a little harder, but
I could see that. I hadn't thought of it as like a little more flexibility. I could see that though, where it's like one time slot might not work for East Coasters, but it could work for folks on the Pacific Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but I like that. I like that a lot.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and share the Kickstarter screen because we're in the last 3 minutes and I don't want to miss it while we're having these conversations.
Yeah.
When you have a chance to be the last backer, you want to.
Yeah. Come on.
Bonus.
You can do this.
Yep. Also, I just want to say my favorite part of the anthology was that no one noticed that at last minute I changed the contract to include that I now own all of your souls.
Well, then it's a good thing that I did not contribute a short story to this, that I was just the editor.
Yeah, that's true.
6 cats you're going to need to fight for mine.
It's good that I don't have
by the way, if anyone out there sees this and is actually looking to run anthologies of their own, free piece of advice, have your contract ready to go early. Because first off, you have to have a contract. You have to have it ready early. We did not do that with Less Than Secret, and that was very bad of us.
This time we sent it out before anyone even started drawing, I'm pretty sure.
Also, if you're interested in contributing to an anthology, make sure there's a contract and don't work for free.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Contracts can only protect it. I mean, it can only protect you and the person you want to make the contract with. It covers everybody's asses.
Yeah.
That's what a good contract does.
Yeah.
Also, if you're a freelancer, it's a good idea to have your own contract available in case you run into a situation where someone just doesn't do contracts normally, and you're like, "Well, I need one. Here's my contract."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a template that I have like a master template, and I just modify it as needed depending on the project. And if somebody's like, I've never worked with a contract before, I can just be like, here, let me modify here.
Yeah. Our contract is actually adapted from Angela's because Angela also does an anthology series called Awesome Possum, and she basically just sent us her contract and we adapted it. Oh, it's counting on seconds now.
Oh boy. Oh, this is exciting. I've not actually like watched a Kickstarter in its last seconds, so this is like new territory for me.
That's right. If you want to back the project, there's still time. There's a link at the bottom, tinyurl.com/gnomecomics. We figured that's easier than finding the Kickstarter link because it's a lot of things. Go ahead and back it if you can.
Still more than a minute.
80 seconds left.
That's right. I figured we'll do a... Should we try to do a countdown at the 10-second mark? Because none of us will sync up.
Try to do a countdown at the 10-second mark. I've done that before. It's bad.
I think it would be funny if we did it.
We're not going to sync up.
Yeah, no, please, can we just do it? It won't sync, but we can.
I mean, we can.
Will anyone be just straight up triggered by it? Like, will it really mess your...
I just need to take a second to say the numbers, the countdown turned red.
Oh, yes, they did.
I did not know it did that.
The final
I think that's new. I don't think it used to do it. I'm pretty sure I've watched some of my old Kickstarters.
The final countdown.
All right, when the countdown happens, I'm going to be joined.
Oh yeah, let me get down Harold. Harold is going to join us.
Oh man. Are we actually counting down? Are we gonna make
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have this train wreck happen.
Let's do the cringe.
10, 9,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! I'm sure that sounded awful, and I don't care. That was great.
I can't tell whether I was late or early compared to everybody else.
Somehow we were both.
Nobody was in sync. That's fine. But everybody, with 90 backers over 30 days, we've made $4,088 out of 2,500 requested. That is pretty great.
Whoa.
We did it!
Yay!
Yay! You did it!
Also,
dear backers, dear followers.
I just want to point out that my adopted kitten is just passed out on the couch.
Aw. Well, make it big just so we can get the cat tax.
Yes. I gotta pay the cat tax. He's just so cute. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Oh, hold on. He's right back there. Follow the finger.
Yep. I think I see him.
I think so too.
He's just a log. He's just a log.
Oh, but I can move. So I can't pick up Hawk because he said no, but I can move my camera so you all can see him.
Oh, okay.
All right, we switched to you.
Birds are afraid of rats. They're using a rat.
Oh yeah.
Thread this out through.
There is a man.
Oh, hello, buddy.
So cute.
Howdy.
Oh, I want to boot that snoot.
Oh.
Oh, please snoot in my honor, please.
Oh my.
Do I have any hangnails, bud? He will trim my hangnails. It's great.
Oh.
Very helpful like that.
Rats groom themselves more often than cats. Fun fact.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Because cats groom themselves all the time.
Oh yeah, no, rats groom themselves more than cats do. Like I had two baby boy rats when I lived in Arizona. They were just constantly grooming themselves. It was cute.
They just be cleaning all the time.
Be cleaning all the time.
Very
pet rats. Pet rats, got to clarify, cannot attest to the quality of the rats in like New York or Chicago.
I do not recommend having sewer rats in your home. And
I was about to say, you got pizza rats in New York, so
He's not a pizza rat, but he'd love to
And
be.
pizza turtles. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's where my brain goes.
I think of Pizza Rats because of the Unsleeping City, which the
Yup.
D&D
Well,
people
you
here
know
need to
what?
watch.
Pizza rat. Yeah, where he's voiced by Charlie Day, apparently.
I don't know about anyone else, but I just feel 1,000 times more relaxed all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you don't
That's
have
right.
that.
Yeah.
It's been completed.
Yeah. So I tend to go hard when this kind of stuff happens. So I've had like a 4 live streams a week schedule. Like maybe not even just, I wasn't always live streaming, but I was
That
often
is
watching
grueling.
other live streams and being active in the chat. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
it feels really good that I now get to go down to 1 because I still have my gaming channel at twitch.tv/BWH Comics. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a little bit of a breather for the next couple weeks while we wait to get paid.
Good.
Yeah. But once that happens, we are going to hit the ground running. We're going to try to get everything ordered within we want to get it all ordered in December so that everything's included in our taxes for next year. Like, honestly, that's the main reason we're trying to do it. But that should mean you get your stuff sooner. We're thinking we'll place the order then. It'll all come in February, by February, and we'll be able to get it all out.
Heck yeah.
By the way, we're definitely, Kelsey, we are definitely doing sticker packs in the future because we've sold a ton of those.
Good. Yeah, I figured that you would be.
I was keeping an eye on that. I thought you'd want to know since you're kind of our sticker czar, but
I've had multiple friends text me when we announced the sticker pack that went, "You're doing gnome stickers? Why didn't you tell us this the first time around?" I was like, okay, well, like, especially I got a lot of "You're doing bride stickers? I want like 20. Why didn't you like advertise this from the beginning?"
We will find a way to make these available after the Kickstarter as well because they just look awesome.
Yeah,
they are great.
Dude, stickers are a great way to get the Kickstarter out there, and also stickers are just great merchandise.
Yeah. Also,
GalaxyCon, and that was like the most popular thing people were getting.
When wait, did you sell the gnome stickers at GalaxyCon?
No.
Okay.
No. There were other stickers that were being sold. Here, I found it. Okay, I want to show off this unicorn kills vampires sticker.
Making you big.
Nice.
Yes, got this from a Kickstarter that I backed called Unicorn Vampire Hunter. Highly recommend.
That's
good comics.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I actually also recognize that church sticker thing. That's that podcast from Three Rivers, right? Church of the Geek?
I think so. Church of the Geek. Yeah, they were passing out these stickers.
I remember when you got that.
Yeah.
I actually have a specific memory. Part of the reason I wanted to do, I thought I can't remember, did you or I come up with the idea of doing Pride stickers? Because I want to say...
I think at the time I had some Pride stickers already out.
You had Pride stickers, and I'm wondering if I threw out that we should do Gnome Pride stickers. Because
that guy, but
were you? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Okay, yeah. Hey, I'm probably completely misremembering. I know part of the reason I was in favor of it was I saw how well your Dino Pride stickers have done at things.
I think that was on the premiere live stream we were talking about, and I said, "What if Pride gnome hats?"
Yeah, you did say that.
Yes,
that was a good idea.
Okay, yeah, definitely, that came from Eddie.
I didn't do that much to the thing as a whole, but I did do that.
Yes, there was a funny moment at a con. I think it was Three Rivers Comic Con this year. I was splitting a table with Kelsey, and Kelsey has a bunch of stickers that are dinosaurs with different Pride flags.
And dragons with Pride flags.
And dragons with Pride flags. I don't have I seen the dragons? I only think I've seen the.
You might be thinking of a different. Might be thinking of a different design. Did it look like a little baby dragon that was like looking back on itself with its little wings furled?
No, I'm thinking of. I thought it was a T-Rex holding a flag.
Yeah, that's Mr. Dino. Yeah,
okay.
That's another iteration.
Yeah.
But I have two different sets of Pride flags. One's little baby dragons in the Pride flag stripes, and the other is Mr. Dino holding various Pride flags.
In addition to those doing great, though, at the con, there's one very specific moment I remember where someone was walking by, saw those stickers, and just came over and said, "You have caught the attention of the gays." And it made me so happy. I'm like, okay, yeah, these are great stickers.
Yeah.
That was also during Pittsburgh Pride, so that was a great time to have them.
Yes.
But yeah, when we were talking about sticker designs, like Pride stickers, great idea, Eddie.
Mhm.
Eddie's not here to receive that praise.
See,
But yeah.
this is why artists are so insecure about getting praise, because whenever there is praise to heap upon them, they're not in the room.
Yeah.
God dang it.
Yeah. No, I've increasingly, I think part of being a salesman has basically taught me to at least pretend to receive praise.
Yeah, I got that.
Now, see, I am a confident bitch, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I know, great.
Yeah. Yeah. That
I
is
find it much easier. One of the reasons I like being part of anthologies is I find it much easier to promote the people I know than to promote myself.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot easier to say, here's this great comics anthology project that a lot of cool people worked on. I happen to be one of them.
Yeah.
Like,
It is-
rather than, here's my thing, pay attention to me.
It is pretty amazing how well anthologies in general sell. Like I've sold a couple of them. Like Less Than Secret was the first one that we organized. I had a big part in that. A lot of the others, I just did one of the aspects of that story. I maybe did the art for it, or even for one of them, I was just do book layout and things like that. Mm-hmm. And those sell so well at cons. And I think a part of it is because I'm more willing to push it.
Well, and also it's more bang for the backer's buck, because they can be like, oh, I'm not just buying one artist, I'm buying multiple artists in one book.
Yep.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah. And it helps with Less Than Secret that the very first story has the Mothman, which does great in Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio and West Virginia.
Yeah. I almost was like, Kelsey, just do a quick gnome story, but make it a gnome Mothman.
I could find a way to make that work.
It's like putting a purple gorilla on the cover.
Yeah. I could find a way to
That
make
should
that
be
work
the theme
somehow.
for our next one. After robots,
Yes.
purple gorillas, specifically
true.
purple, specifically gorillas.
Why is the gorilla purple? Because it's a robot.
Although now you're making me want to write down, and I can't believe I'm doing this, make a mini comic about Gnome Mothman.
Does sound good.
Hey,
Get ideas from everywhere.
Yep. Oh my
Hold
god!
on.
Like I was talking with my table buddies at GalaxyCon, and it was Junior. Shout out to Junior for doing this. They shouted at the idea of taking Monster Manual, X that out, boyfriend brochure. And I'm like, okay, that's an anthology project I'm going to organize.
Okay, so there's an inside joke in my D&D group. I'm not going to name names, but we had a character who ended up having a fling with a succubus and surviving.
Oh god.
And survive.
Okay,
And here's the thing.
Name names. It was my character.
Okay. I didn't want to call you out. I didn't want to call you out.
Please call out Nick. He was stupid. He was the stupidest halfling you've ever met. Literally, his int score was so low he could not read. But he had the highest charisma in the party.
Yeah.
To be clear, we were playing Old School Essentials, which is like kind of based on very, very early D&D and is extremely deadly. There was a very good chance this was going to kill Nick. And
it should have. The fact that it didn't is Rainer was very merciful.
The thing is, I start like one of the things I like to do in our D&D group. I'll sometimes get on a roll and start posting roasts of different characters.
Yep.
And there was a specific roast I posted for Nick that I was something along the lines of Nick looks in the Fiend Folio and tries to swipe right.
Yep.
To be clear, for context, you know, in modern D&D, you can make a dex save, a strength save, a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
In the olden days, it was save versus wand, save versus dragon breath, save versus death.
Yeah.
By being merciful, I mean I let Nick roll versus dragon's breath instead of death. It was still a save to not die.
Yeah, but it was a different flavor of death.
What was extra funny about it was the succubus It was a situation where the succubus had been bound in a circle for centuries without anyone interacting with them, and they just wanted to go home. They legitimately were not trying to seduce anybody, and Nick was just like, "No."
Nick was like, "Well, I mean, if you're on the plane and you got a free night, you know."
Yeah. Like, when I say no, I don't mean like anything creepy, but the succubus was not actively trying to seduce anybody. But Nick was like, "But you know, if you wanted to," and the succubus was just like, "Fine, come here."
To be honest, the adventure did say that it was going to follow one of you around, and then when you got distracted from the party, it was going to drain you of your life force by killing you, and then it was going to teleport back to hell by itself. So it was actually a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was going to happen.
By befriending it, we saved our lives.
Yeah. By the way, as a further call out, the majority of the roasts are about Rainer's character.
I find this very funny because of the vast majority of the roasts are about, or of the roasts are about a character Rainer hasn't even played yet. This is theoretical. Well, a little more than theoretical at this point, but
but yeah.
Also, I just want to explain the purple gorilla thing is that it was because comics in the olden days would sell better if they had a gorilla on it or heavily featured the color purple. So comic studios back in the day would start adding purple gorillas to the cover of things.
Yeah, if you ever wondered in superhero comics why Gorilla Grodd exists or characters like that, it's because of this.
Yeah, there was a particular phase, I forget exactly when it was, that like gorillas were just really trendy for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess that might have been connected to the popularity of just King Kong in general, because King Kong was a hugely popular like pop culture icon for decades.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah.
Apparently there is a store in Calgary called Purple Gorilla Comics when I just Googled that. So shout out to this comic store I've never heard of. Probably good because it has a good name. I just saw that it had a name. Please don't call me out if they did anything bad. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, fun fact, you're welcome.
Yeah. What can I say except you're welcome?
Just keep it coming up with more pin ideas. I have another one that's just don't.
I'm sure they're great. I'm just saying I probably shouldn't shout out businesses I've never looked at before.
Yeah.
We should shout out our own business and the fact that we had a successful Kickstarter campaign.
Expect viewers to have, basic reasoning and understand that you didn't background check it when you live searched it.
It's true.
It would be kind of absurd for anyone to try to cancel you for on a live stream mentioning a business in a different country. Like, they would be the asshole.
Yeah.
In that scenario, not you, pal.
But yeah, to Kelsey's point, in case anyone's tuning in late and doesn't know why we're talking about purple gorillas or like hooking up with succubi in Dungeons and Dragons, we just literally a few minutes ago wrapped our Kickstarter for What the Gnomes Know, a comics anthology, which has been going for a month, and we are all ridiculously relaxed all of a sudden, which is why we're talking about these things. If you do want to check out the project, because obviously it's going to be sold to the general public once we've fulfilled the Kickstarter, you can still go to tinyurl.com/gnomecomics and follow the project from there. Which, by the way, Kelsey, we'd recently been talking about the Spotlight feature.
Yes.
Apparently that's what it's specifically doing is they're trying to make it so that after your page is no longer the campaign, it becomes a product page so that people can still follow it in other ways. I think Crowdfunder was starting to do the same type of thing. This might be competing with that.
Possibly. Yeah, it could be that Kickstarter saw that Crowdfunder had been doing that, and they were like, we like this idea. We're going to incorporate that. Now, if only they could look at how Crowdfunder does add-ons.
Yeah.
And improve the add-on system. That'd be great.
I've in general been happy with Kickstarter, but I am interested in some of the competitors that are starting to pop up. So when we do our next anthology, which we don't have official dates for anything right now, but I would like to try to kickstart in the third quarter of 2023. Like, we want to try to get it put together and have the next campaign. Thinking maybe August, maybe start. We could potentially start as late as mid-September, but we're still figuring all that out. But at that point, we might consider it one of the other crowdfunding platforms, depending on what ends up happening.
Let us know, viewing public.
Yeah.
Yes.
If people have a preference, let us know.
Do you have strong opinions? Please tell us.
But yeah, so far, all of our experience, mostly, well, no, I was about to say all of our experience has been Kickstarter, but Kelsey specifically did crowdfunder recently.
I did. I used crowdfunder to crowdfund for some Dragon Baby keychains, particularly those printed in Pride colors. Managed to raise just a little over 200 with an asking goal of 100. And I had originally wanted to run it for 3 days, but one of the neat things that crowdfunder does is even if you reach the last day, you can just elect to run the campaign for longer. You can change the end date.
Cool.
That actually is really cool.
Yeah, and also you can also elect to, if you hit your goal early, you can end the campaign early so that you can start fulfilling rewards like right the frick away.
You have to end the campaign to do that?
You don't technically have to. You can just keep it running while you get fulfillment taken care of. I just find it easier to end a campaign before beginning fulfillment, so I have more accurate numbers.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you're just running a Patreon. But
that's definitely true.
Something to be mindful of, yes.
By the way, fun fact, just because this is one of the best things about Kickstarter, they have a very good discovery system. And looking at our final numbers, 44% of the funds we received actually was discovered through Kickstarter specifically. They weren't people that previously knew us or came to us through other parts of social media. So it's one of the major perks of using Kickstarter, but I'm also a big fan of Kickstarter having legitimate competition because I think it makes everything work better. So
yeah, we should have a monopoly's bad, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Yes. And for the most part, Kickstarter's kind of had a monopoly on this. There's Indiegogo and GoFundMe, but
make Kelsey big so we can see the kitten.
Yes.
Why would I do that? I want to torture you.
No,
there we go.
I don't know if you can hear, but he is purring like really loud. Oh, yes, I know. I'm holding you, sir. This is Mooney Vegeta Muser Peterson Crawford. He is adorable.
Yeah.
Alex rescued him from the middle of the road when he was 5 weeks old. Oh, no. Yeah, we don't know how he got there, but yes, show your butthole to the internet, sir.
Good job.
He is a shoulder percher. He loves to perch on shoulders.
Nice.
Excellent.
And he also likes to give kisses.
I hate to end the cat tax early, but we did just actually have another person pop into the stream. This is the creator of Gnome Pizza and someone I interviewed just a couple days ago. We've got Kat with us.
Hello, Kat. It's funny because I have a cat and we are joined by a cat.
Cat and cat. That is fun.
That's better. No glare.
Yep. That's ironic because we went from cat tax to cat tax. Yeah. Kat, I don't know if you saw the Kickstarter, but it ended at 4,088.
Yeah. I think I actually just remembered to check. I was just scrolling and I was like, oh wait, I wonder how the Kickstarter's doing.
Yep. We officially made 163% of our requested goal.
Woo!
Nice.
Heck yes.
Woo.
Pretty amazeballs.
Kat, you have experience with a number of other anthologies. Have you ever been part of a crowdfunding campaign?
I think one of the Fantologies was in a Kickstarter. I think Fantology number 2.
No.
Oh, maybe I'm misremembering.
I don't think Fantology 2 was the one I was on, and there was no money attached to Fantology 2 at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been trying so hard not to talk shit on this stream.
Oh, okay. Go off.
No, Fantology. Great.
Yeah, I'm. I might be thinking of possibly one of the I was in a few Boston Comics anthologies, and I know that those were also. I think those were Kickstarter backed. I think I was on one maybe in 2018 that I might be remembering. It was all like LGBT comics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I remember like that one did pretty well. Like, thankfully, I've never been involved in like a failed crowdfunding thing. But I don't know. It seems like they all like turn out pretty well, which is good.
Statistically, according to Kickstarter, something like 64% of their comics projects actually get funded, which is it's the highest of any of their different categories. The overall average for Kickstarter is 40%.
It makes you wonder how much of that is because a lot of comics projects are like web comics and similar things like that, where a bunch of the work has already been done and it's just the getting it to print.
Yeah.
Because I know there are, I haven't actually been involved in very many, but I know there are stories about Kickstarters of people who go to Kickstarter with, oh, we have this awesome prototype. And then, you know, they can't complete it even after funding. Even after being funded, they're like, well, we couldn't actually put this into manufacturing, or, you know, this video game that we promised was actually way more difficult than we thought it was going to be, so never mind. And I wonder if comics, because a lot of the time it's coming from web comics that have a built-in fan base, and it's coming from a basically already completed project, it makes me wonder if that's a factor.
I bet it is. One of the other factors may be that, in general, comics Kickstarters, based on a lot of the numbers they have, ask for less money.
There's that too.
Because like some of the projects, you look at film, like often it's like the average is in the hundreds of thousands, things like that. I want to say the highest comic project might only be in the tens of thousands.
Yeah. I was part of a crowdfunding for 2 different campaigns that were not Kickstarter related. I didn't include them in my Kickstarter campaigns that I've run tally. So technically, if you include those, I've run more like 17. There's a reason why crowdfunding manager is one of the services that I offer as a freelancer. But
I think I feel like I'm reasonably experienced with it, and I did the math the other day, and the answers, and for me, it's 5. Like 17 is crazy.
Yeah, but 2 of the Kickstarters that I was a part of that were not comics related did have comparatively higher asking goals, like in like, because usually a comics Kickstarter can ask for example, 2,500, like what we were asking for What the Gnomes Know.
Yeah.
But no, the 2 other Kickstarters I was a part of were asking for like the CEO and I actually talked about like an asking goal, because he was like, you're the Kickstarter expert, what's a good asking price? And I looked at his original projection of like 17,000 or something, and I'm like, that's too high, have that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've definitely seen Kickstarters that hit that in the comics category. They usually do it at the last minute, and that's all they get, which can work. That is one of the other strategies. I feel like going low and then trying to get higher works better for us.
In my opinion, like from looking at it, there's been 2 comics Kickstarters that have broken 1 million.
Okay.
There's a fair amount that have gone in the 500,000 range, but that's about what, on a normal situation, 500,000 is a big ass Kickstarter for comics, versus there are some like tech ones that get to like 10 million or something.
Yeah.
So
Legend of Vox Machina themselves got to like 11 million or something.
Yeah, it was 11 million. That's the highest in the film category.
Yeah.
Which I know because I'm a Uber fan.
The highest one in comics was the Keanu Reeves one, and that made 1,444,000.
Oh yeah, Berserker, right?
Yep.
I haven't read it. Is it any good? Does anyone know?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted because Mr. Mew loves attacking my feet. And right now he is just going to town on my foot. He has learned that his claws are sticky. So he is now sticking onto everything that he can. Oh, now you're tired.
Foot attack stuff.
Yeah, it's kitten time where it's like for 30 minutes they'll get zoomies, attack everything, and then for the next 30 they're just passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
Kitten energy.
So, Kat, on any of those previous projects, did they have you doing interviews or like and try to have like group meetups and things like that, or is it mostly the post and ghost method where they're like, give us your work and then you're done?
Yeah, it was pretty much that. I think the one that I was like called Being True. I think I remember like one of the stretch goals was just like higher contributor pay, and then I think there was like they were saying like, oh, like original art sales, something like that. But I remember it like, I guess like being pretty small scale, probably because I think it was much more like local appeal. Like it was kind of like just focused on like the New England area.
Right.
And yeah, just like, smaller print run to, but yeah, it was just really like, I just like sent them my files and then like, I'm done. I promoted it a little bit and then it's like, it's all done.
Yeah.
So I really liked how involved this one was for sure.
It's a lot of fun working with everybody. I really enjoyed organizing this because like I organized it in the sense that was like, hey, work things, but then like, I mean, I put the book together, but other than that, it's been like, I haven't done that much more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like we've had like a bunch of everybody working together and it's been really cool.
Yeah.
You did a lot, but full credit, like Rainer did a great job running this thing.
Thank you. But what I mean is just like, it's fun to like work with everyone constant, like talking and blah, blah, blah. It's been really cool.
Yeah. And just having like the casual like work meetups on Discord, because we have a Discord for this anthology project, by the way, which is also something that I've not seen a lot of other anthology projects do. I don't know of very many anthology projects that are like, we're running this on Discord so that everybody can like stay on top of things outside of maybe the occasional fan comic project. But even then, like, they don't organize to the extent that we do, where we have like, hey, let's have a work hangout on this day, or hey, let's have a work hangout on this day. How's everybody doing on this particular stage? Or hey, I need some feedback on how this page looks. Eh?
Goodbye, Arian.
No, Arian will be back. Sorry, I'm just. They said that she's going to be back in a little bit, so just pulling her out of the chat so we get everybody bigger for a little bit. With part of the reason we have that set up with Discord, honestly, is when Rainer and I decided we wanted to do an anthology with Less Than Secret. We didn't entirely know how to run an anthology. So we brought in people that could tell us when we were doing dumb stuff, and we made it a community, like a group effort. And with a lot of the stuff we did, it was stuff that we kind of didn't think about other people aren't doing. Like, we wanted everybody really involved because we could use the help, and it ended up working out really well.
Also, COVID was making us all stir crazy.
Yes.
So
there was that too.
Company.
Yeah, like a big part of doing all this was we were all stuck in our houses. It was because we did it all in 2020 and early 2021. And it was really, really nice to have that community again. We also had a lot of people who were part of the Center for Cartoon Studies who were we very quickly fell back into the pattern of everybody talking about comics and just like meeting up and hanging out. And even for those who weren't part of that, like, I'm not trying to leave you out, Kelsey. You fell into that group too because, like, you're our people.
Yeah, I can talk comics all day, even if I've never been to the Center for Cartoon Studies. Like,
exactly.
I can talk comics for days. I just needed an outlet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up being one of those things that I really would encourage anyone who runs an anthology to do, because having just a Discord where artists can hang out is so good for the creative process.
Yep.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Plus, just I don't know. Whenever someone's like skeptical about Discord. I'm like, but the channels function. It's so helpful for literally everyone.
Yeah.
I have 2-person Discord servers for like doing like role plays with friends and stuff, like fiction, because it's like better to have like a discussion versus actual prose like change and like it's literally not
Discord,
not to shill for Discord, but like it's so helpful for any kind of group project to have to be able to designate, you know, here's the serious business channel, here's the screwing around channel, here's the like
I love
this.
this.
It's so helpful.
Even for group chats, like one of the there's like one where it's just a bunch of us like messing around and just having our like friendly group chat. There's a separate like little
channel. The word is channel.
Yeah, there's a separate channel in that is just, and here's where all the crab memes go, because 4 of us are like.
So just having like being able to have these very specific like designated spaces, and now with threads it's even better because like if someone has a question, you can stay focused on that one question and not bog down other people. So yeah, it's just genuinely a great tool for any kind of group project.
It's also wild because increasingly I'm using Discord over email to do business. Like
I'm starting to use that way too.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just faster.
So I do just want to say I love Discords for private groups and groups with under 50 people on it, but please make your fandom thing a forum. I miss forums.
Yeah.
Forums. This would not be a forum. I love Discord for this, but just in general, please make forums happen again. I miss them so.
I mean, I'm kind of like still active on some of them. Like,
yeah.
I feel like as someone who used to use AOL Instant Messenger a lot because I'm old, I feel like Discord is the version of that that's good.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. It
is. Yeah.
The one thing that's frustrating to me is how many groups you have to belong to for certain, for fandom stuff. Like this is where I think forums make sense. If you want to keep track of when a con has their artist alley open and stuff like that, you pretty much have to join their Discord. And I try to ignore everything except their announcements.
That's fair.
Because those announcements are usually how you find out when an artist alley opens up. Or I ask Kelsey.
But
again, it's nice.
There's a reason why I have a convention tracker spreadsheet.
But again, what's nice is you can mute all the other channels and just leave the announcements channel open.
Yeah,
if they've organized well.
Yeah, I sometimes have difficulty figuring that out, but I'm working on it. I also have the annoyance. I'm one of the people who actually prefers fewer channels, just because it drives me crazy when I'm in a big group thing and I'm following pretty much everything for some reason, and things get posted in 20 different channels and I don't know which one it is. But
I mean, it should highlight whenever a new post is in a channel. Like
it does, but when there are like 30 channels in a single server, it does still mean you're going through and you're like, okay, where's the thing I just saw pop up? Hold on.
Sorry, I would like to apologize. This small fur baby has discovered the joys of string, and he thinks that my headphone cords are a toy. Sir.
Oh, no.
Sir.
Not good.
Sir.
You should be
Hold on, I gotta cat tax again.
Cat tax.
Oh, it's so small.
When did you get this cat? I actually don't think I've seen him before.
About 2 weeks ago. He was adopted definitely before GalaxyCon. But Alex found him in the middle of the road and nobody was slowing down. And so she like pulled over, she picked him up, and she was on her way to her parents. So she like tucked him like on her back, and he crawled into the hoodie and just hid there because he was absolutely terrified. Because of course he was 5 weeks old, sitting in the middle of the road in like 30-degree weather. And Alex called up her parents and was like, I found a kitten. What do I do?
Yeah.
You're getting
like, just hold on to him, bring him to us, we'll figure it out from there. And we just have him now.
That's great. So I'm assuming like he wasn't microchipped or anything like that. So
no, we checked for a microchip. He didn't have one, but and we checked him over, and we were concerned that he was somebody's pet because he had hardly any fleas, but he was definitely like a pudgy belly. He had no eye gunk. He had no nose gunk. He looked well taken care of for a kitten. We were like, what happened? How did you get up in the middle of the road? We don't know. Nobody's stepped forward to be like, hey, he's our cat. So we're integrating him into our household and we're going from there. I have to keep an eye on him because each of the cats in this house has like a particular diet, and Bree's old lady cat food is currently out, and he likes to try to snack bites of the old lady cat food. And I'm like, sir, you are the opposite of an old lady.
I'm just picturing Bree being like, don't even try it, kid.
Oh no, for the first like week and a half that he was here, her ears were just constantly like yeah. She's had to be mom cat a couple of times, and especially whenever he's like doing his zoomies and he's starting to like tear into things, she'll just actually run up to him and just on the head. Like good warning tap, no claws or anything, but like, you know.
Excuse me. Not to be rude about your cat, but unless we have more Kickstarter or book relevant things to discuss, I think Kaj and I are going to sign off.
I was just going to bring it up and kind of head back to that. We've been going for a while, and I think we've covered the main thing. If you want to give your shout out to like where we can find you online or anything like that, now would be the time.
I'm Good Sir Ediford on Instagram, spelled how it sounds.
I'm
Actual Cryptid.
Yes, Actual Cryptid Kaj, which is K-A-Z at the end because Polish. Not that there's much on my Instagram.
And we made a gnome by any other name, and that's our story. And we are very excited to share it with you viewers. So
yes,
please do continue supporting the project.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
So we're going to do that.
I want to leave too because I have to go to bed really early for work.
Totally get it.
Sounds good. We'll give you the same opportunity though. Where can people find you online?
I am Fairy Warrior Cat on Twitter and Instagram, and my comic in the anthology is called Gnome Pizza,
which was delightful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
The slice of life one, I like to say.
Yes.
Slice of life.
Slice of life is perfect.
By the way, if you like, everyone who likes puns will like this story. By the way, like this anthology.
Oh, the whole anthology has some A-grade puns for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye, Dee and Kaj.
I think I'm gonna scoot as well because it's about dinner time.
Yeah.
So
let's just generally call it, but I will give everyone the exact same opportunity. So
yeah. Everything that you can find about me online, social media links, information about my clubs, what projects I'm doing, etc. All of that is at kelseydcrawford.com. That's KELCID Crawford.com.
Sounds good. Who wants to go next?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, I'm back now. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I am Washbird Alexander. You can find me there. I should probably try to shorten that at some point. But yes, that's where you can find the majority of my art at the moment.
Yeah, it's easy to remember. That's the nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Washbird Alexander is pretty easy to work with.
Okay, that's good at least.
Yeah. All right. Raider and Ariane.
I mean, I'm Ariane. Actually, the easiest place to find me is on Tumblr. That's where I post the vast majority of everything these days. And the thing for that is dedicated follower, all one word, 467 at tumblr.com or .tumblr.com. I'm also DEF467 on Twitter, although I don't really use my Twitter very much. And I also have a website, which is ariennemccray.com, ERIENNEMCCRAY.
All right. And Rainer.
All right. My name is Rainer Canstein, and I am at RFKANNEN on everything.com, like rfcanon.com, at rfcanon on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr,
etc.
All the good stuff. All right. Now there's one more thing I realized we need to do because I said we were going to do it and we hadn't done it yet.
Didn't do it.
Ariane knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So we had a challenge, a coloring page challenge, that we were asking people to recolor an illustration and post it to their social media. And we said that after the end of the Kickstarter, we would announce who the winner was and they would get a digital illustration. We're going to randomly select. We did, in fact, have some submissions, and I have already done a random generator thing to see who would win. I'm downloading the image now because I don't want to accidentally dox them, but we will be I will post in just a moment. The winner of our coloring page challenge was submitted to us by a buddy of mine I've done some freelance work with before, a guy named John Porable, who posted his son Perry's coloring of the page.
Nice.
Yay! Congratulations, John and Perry. You guys win. You'll be getting a free, an original digital illustration. I'll reach out to you guys privately to get that taken care of. But congratulations. Look up John Porable. He does a lot of really cool indie music worth checking out. All right. That pretty much wraps up what we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us for the wrap party for this Kickstarter. Just because I just realized I haven't done it, why not? You can find my stuff at bwhcomics.com. I'm also BWH Comics on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I do regular Twitch streaming every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, mostly gaming. We're playing through Danganronpa 2 right now. A lot of goofy voices, a lot of that kind of stuff happening. You can check that out at twitch.tv/BWH Comics. I am also one of the co-founders, along with Rainer, of CanonWrite Productions, which made the anthology we were just talking about. You can find us at canonwrite.com, CanonWrite.com. So, thank you very much for joining us. Can't wait to do another one of these anthologies in the not too distant future. But first, we got to get this one out to you. So until next time, rock on, guys, and never stop drawing.
Well,
thanks, everybody.
Thank you.